Yeah, please. Okay, call the meeting to order. We have the agenda in front of us. Any additions, or corrections, or changes that you guys can see right now? Okay, could I hear a motion to approve the agenda? Motion by Blake, second by Darrell. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Agenda approved. Minutes of the October 4th meeting
And 11.
and the 11th should be included in that.
Yes. Yep.
Okay. Have a chance to read through the minutes?
I'll approve.
Both of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the minutes for the October 4th and also the October 11th meetings. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, minutes approved. Take a look at the bills. Linda, the bill for the Department of Transportation, is that an annual fee that we pay for that $4,000 for bridge inspection?
It's when they come out and do bridge inspections, they
Oh,
send us a bill.
that's
They
So
do it once a year?
That's our progress payment, yeah.
Or is it just periodic?
I think it's periodically because we have another one this year too.
Yeah,
And it's not always
I thought there was
4,000.
another
Like
one,
it's
that's why I asked.
sometimes it's a smaller amount. It just depends on which bridge they look at, or if it's multiple bridges in one day, or however they do that.
Okay.
They send us a bill.
they call it a progress billing. We pay 19.07% share of the bridge inspection load rating services. And we had paid $5,500 earlier this year. We get them a couple times a year. They go around and, make sure the bridges are gonna collapse and you must have signed a contract with them, with HDR Engineering.
What's with the
We
state?
we signed a
state-
contract
The
with them?
state.
The state comes out, that's their engineering firm that the state sends out to do these inspections. Cause they did that one on the bridge that got hit earlier this year, by the Hall Road. That's the same firm that the state calls in and does the inspections.
That would go back to being IAM too, right?
I think we did with the one that came in for them, yeah.
It has all the section, range, and townships. No, that's gotta be a road designation. That's not a section range. Oh, they have them by bridge numbers. Looks like the total cost is $107,000 and we pay 19.07% of that. And I just bill it out periodically. There's quite a few add-on bills because election took up our time. So I just put them on there. I did not have time to enter them.
Just glad it's over though.
I'm glad it's over, yeah. It was a lot of extra work.
I'm kind of comparing it to the equivalent of jet lag right now.
We do have to do a post-election audit this afternoon where we retest the two machines we use to make sure they can still add.
Yeah.
And so that'll take an hour. But I hope to get back to you our regular schedule, and then we just were good until canvas vote on the 18th.
All the equipment now that for the election, do we keep that on hand or does that go back to the state?
Nope, that's ours.
The state
Yeah.
owns it, but
And all
yeah,
the supplies that we buy,
those are
we
ours.
keep those.
Yeah, they're in
So we keep
the
everything.
they're in the security cage. Have you seen that cage yet?
Mhm.
Okay, yeah, everything is locked in
Okay.
there.
Yep.
When they did the security assessment, they were displeased with some of the things that were being done, so that's why we have the cage and the ballots and everything. Everything is locked up around the clock now. Nobody can get in but Jaden and I myself.
So, okay, the next election, 2 years from now,
Mm-hmm.
does someone from the state come out and inspect the equipment
Yeah,
at all?
they do annual maintenance to make
Yep.
sure
Annual.
that annual, yeah, and that's just part of their contract
Yep.
with election systems and software. They make sure the machines aren't rusting to death or that they still work.
And they work perfect this year.
They were good.
The ones we used worked perfectly. We did not use the monstrous large machine because it was a waste of money on the state's part. It doesn't work. It jams every 10th ballot, so we ran them all through the DS200, which was the one that looks like a garbage can we had sitting out here. We ran the absentees through one in the security cage, and then the election day ones went through one up here. I have to retest both of those machines this afternoon to make sure they still know how to count. So that's just one of their procedures. The rest of the machines have all been rechecked.
And funny as they showed some of the stuff on TV, the cages, there's quite a few of them out there in the countryside.
The cage was a good investment.
Yeah, most definitely was.
What doesn't go in the cage, like before election, we have the 2 fire files. That's where the ballots were stored, and they were locked at all times. I would imagine there'll be more add-ons. It's early. All the bills haven't shown up yet.
Okay, we've seen the bills. Do I hear a motion to approve payment of the bills?
I'll make that.
Second.
Motion by Darrell, second by Blake. Could we have a roll call vote on this? Blake?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Approved for payment of the bills. Let's go right into the other business of the health insurance quotes discussion.
Patrick sent me another quote, a couple quotes. I looked them over. The one for health insurance is quite a bit higher than what we're paying now for the same coverage. We're looking at their family coverage is $3,060 a month, and ours right now is, I think it's $2,042 a month. That's a big increase. We were looking at going with NDPHIT, but they don't accept applications until probably May because they operate on a fiscal year just like PERS does. And
July to June.
yeah, so, and our rates are good until June 30th. PERS rebids it. Before then, I'm guessing there'll be an increase.
They rebid that every year.
Every 2 years, we're locked in. John Godfrey did approve rate increases. I don't know how that affects PERS. We won't find out. He projected a 10.1% increase.
How much?
10.1, I don't know. Last time our increase was like $2. It was pretty much nothing the last rebid. We'll have to see. We did have 3 of the employees who lost their health insurance incentive enroll in family. So that's an extra $6,300 a month. That goes into effect January 1st. They were all approved. So I had done the math on it.
So right now
Right now we're at 26,000 a month. We'll be at
we're in
33.
the first year of the.
This is the last
This
year.
is the second year of the.
Our contract is up June 30th. It will go up July 1st. We qualified. We redid the recertification a couple weeks ago, and they have a criteria. You have to have 70% of your eligible employees enrolled, and we qualified. They don't make us count the board members because whatever the reasons are, or Medicaid eligible people, or part-time people, even though they're over 20 hours and they're eligible, we don't have to count them. So we qualified, but now we've got 3 more on there, so we're extra qualified. I think we only had to have 7, and now we've got 17 on there. So, and then there was a quote from Companion. I don't really know what to do with that because it's a different agent, and we only have 2 people on Companion at the moment, but they offer auxiliary policies just like all of the other ones, like Colonial and Aflac and Fidelity Life, Avisus. Those are the ones that people are enrolled. They all had the option of doing whichever ones they wanted. They looked at which providers the insurance policies worked with. One of the dental plans didn't use some of the dentists, the other one did. The rates were pretty much, what you got for the policy premium were all kind of the same across the board. We don't use Aflac Dental anymore because they out of the blue dropped us 2 years ago, which is why we gave everybody the option of these other plans. There's no real requirement. They can go on and off them at any time. They do have an open enrollment, and that's basically so the agent can come out and discuss it with people. But we keep on top of that. The rates from this Shane O'Brien are pretty much the same as Denise Rollers, and she's been our agent. She was our Aflac agent, and then I don't know what happened there, but then she wasn't. And now she does all of our other policies. She does the fidelity and companion.
So, after reviewing other
Well, I
plans,
sent it all- I sent
what
it
are
all.
your recommendations?
I sent it all to Alice because if you guys take her as human resources director, that would really be her department. I mean, I can provide all the accurate data. It's not my, I don't make policy decisions. I just pass on the information. I try to make it as accurate as possible with what I have to work with. So I sent it all to her. She said she would look through it.
So we have a few months yet to make a decision.
We do. We probably early spring, we should, think about getting an application into NDPHIT. The policies that Patrick got quotes for right now are about $20,000 a month higher than what we're paying for the same coverage. Not exactly the same coverage. We're on a grandfathered plan, so it does not have to be Affordable Care compliant, where a non-grandfathered plan, which is what this would be, pays a little bit better for wellness checks. Like ours doesn't, you can't just go in and ask for a colonoscopy. You have to have a medical reason for one. It doesn't pay birth control. Things like that Affordable Care required policies, as long as we didn't get taken off of the policy, we can stay on it if we meet the requirements. The main difference between PERS grandfathered and non-grandfathered, there's only about $20 a month, so it wasn't a big difference.
With PERS, not
With PERS, yeah. We don't qualify for the non-grandfathered because we don't have 100 employees. So if we lose that, we're, looking for other. The NDPHIT says they will provide a policy that's the same, and the rates will be about the same as PERS, taken into consideration it's going from a non-grandfathered or grandfathered to a non-grandfathered, so there'd be a little bit of an increase. I guess we'll have to see what bids they get. They generally get lower bids because they have a bigger member base, where, if you got 20 people, you're not going to get the rates that somebody that's got 3,000 members gets. So I gave it all to Alice, and that's her. She's going to take care of that, she said.
Patrick, you've looked into a couple of them. Do you have anything to add to this?
Yeah, just kind of in analyzing it myself, what I came with the opinion is that if we want to keep the same deductibles that we have now, you're going to pay more. And that's what it comes down to. So it really depends on what the commissioners want to do with it. But yeah, the current plan has a really low deductible. And because of that, you're seeing increased rates for I think to get close to where we are now.
We'd have to go up to almost a $6,000
Yeah.
deductible.
$6,000 deductible.
We're at $500. That's a big jump.
It is. So that's where it is with that. I don't know anything about NDP, PHIT.
PHIT, North Dakota Public Health Insurance Trust.
Yeah, and as an employer myself, I know that rates go up every year. They went up fairly significantly for my employees right now. For this year, it's just the way it is. We had to make some decisions about that as well. So it comes down to get close to what we have right now, we have to increase the deductibles with the Sanford plan.
Any comments, sounds like?
Sure.
Yeah. Well, we have some time yet. Then.
Well, yeah, and then I looked into the Medicare eligible employees. We are prohibited from encouraging or incentivizing people to take Medicare. And there are 6 right now. There's 6 that are Medicare eligible. There's a $5,000 fine if we do that per employee.
What that means, is the commissioners, we couldn't sit at this table and go, hey, if you do this, we'll give you some money. If you do this, we could, on the other hand, explain to each Medicare eligible employee what the differences would be to them. Perhaps with Medicare, it may be less out of pocket cost to them. I'm completely speculating because I have no idea. But that could be it. So certainly the county would benefit fairly substantially if Medicare eligible employees went on Medicare. But we can't tell them they need to do that. We can't tell them, they should do that. We have to give them the information and let them decide. But that would certainly, if Medicare eligible employees went on Medicare, the county would save a significant sum of money.
We do have to keep in mind that 70% requirement, if we dropped a bunch of employees, we would be ineligible. I mean, we have to keep so many people on the plan.
How many is that?
Okay, right now, I think we only had to have 7, and we've got 17.
And that's for ND PERS.
That's for PERS.
PERS
That's just a PERS, but
Yeah.
NDPHIT has similar requirements. You have to have a certain percentage of your eligible employees enrolled. You can't provide incentives. That's pretty much universal. But we have time, And like I said, I'll provide, I can do the research, find the data, but I don't make policy decisions. I just do the paperwork when you guys make them. So.
Okay, you have a discussion on that? Okay, let's move on to, we got time before the park board meeting, unclaimed properties check approval. What is that?
This is from Laura. She's not here at the moment. She's requesting the commissioners to submit a check in the amount of $6.44 to unclaimed property. A check was written to Mac Smith in September of 22 for overpayment of taxes. She has sent 3 letters for requests for duplicate warrant with no response from him. So basically that just means that we have no response from him. He overpaid $6.44 on his taxes. Because we've received no response, we have to send that money to unclaimed property. And so we have to you have to approve us sending a check for $6.44 because he has not responded.
We do that.
Need a motion on that then, do we?
Yes. Yep.
All right, yeah.
I'll vote on it.
Okay, motion by Daryl.
I'll second it.
Motion second with Blake. Any further discussion on this? Hearing none, all in favor?
Right.
Okay, we'll approve it.
My desk, if you need anything else, you know where to find me. Try not to. I'd have to
Park
do
board meeting.
a risk manager report.
Dave.
Okay, I'll call the meeting to order. When we look at this is a request we received yesterday. The city mayor had talked to me twice about, I guess I should say Daryl's here, so the whole board is here. They wanted to put in a community garden, and I had talked to Lee about it. They wanted to put it down over here by the Tilly Brown's old house area. And he put in for a grant, and he received a full grant to pay for the property, build the fence, everything. So that's all in the works. So right now they want to look at the pool. They don't have the total cost, but I believe which called yesterday, $26,000 it's going to cost for the extra ventilation and painting and everything. But this is more for the locker rooms, the way this reads. So we already gave them $1,000 toward the pool for repainting back in June, and so I guess we have $1,000 left in the park board fund. So if this is something you think we want to do, otherwise we're toward the end of the year. The money would just go in the general account if we don't use it. And like the letter says at the bottom, it's for the good of the pool. But
We have $1,000 left in right now.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know what that's about.
That's the voucher that we would fill out in the event that you approve giving this money to the city, then Linda would fill out the dollar amount and everything, so.
Okay, what should we do then?
Well, I guess my recommendation would be, you know, the pool is a big asset to the community. You know, eventually they've got to have a fundraiser because I think that's what they're trying to do now. They're putting in for a couple grants for painting and, one thing John had said to me, 2 days ago, he was looking at, say if we could give the 1,000, they would buy the paint and then open it up and see if people wanted to come in and help paint. I'm not sure how that would work as far as, you know, legality, but I guess, you know, we stuck 172,000 into the pool, 4 years ago? And, as long as we can keep it up and looking good. And I believe it hasn't been painted for over 15 years. And then I think like the ceiling tiles, they're starting to look pretty old, like in most buildings with moisture.
Wasn't that
Okay, go ahead, I'll go along with what Dave.
Wasn't that ventilating system redone?
Yep.
A couple years ago.
Yeah, so Tracy called me probably a week ago, superintendent, and he was just saying that something's gotta be replaced on that, but I just thought he'd,
Well, the city just paid for something on that too, that they
Yep.
replaced some floor or some.
yep. And then, part of it, I don't know if you guys have heard, you know, the furnace is eventually gonna go to pot. And I think they're looking at over 300,000 for that, and so it's gonna be kind of a nonstop deal with the,
That's school and pool. Okay.
Yep. Yep, so the city will be involved in that also because it's all combined.
Do you know offhand, with this, grant money that's going to possibly be awarded from the transmission line, that northern plain, has that been asked for? Has anything been asked for by the,
That's a good point. I never even asked anybody. I would assume, being to such a big amount, that they'd have probably requested, but I guess I could check with Deb over at the bank and,
When we put in that application with the state, I just did like a blanket, however many millions of dollars that covered the county, the city, so, you know, like community-wide stuff, because we had that long list of different things. And I talked to Deb, and I don't remember if the pool was a part of it, but I know the furnace for the school was brought up.
that was brought up?
It was brought up. So when I gave that list to the state, because they applied for all the counties involved in that project, I just gave them the list of everything and then kind of a breakdown of what some of this would cost. So we don't know if we're gonna get that money, you know, and it got pushed back again because the project got pushed back, and the only way we would get that money is if the project is approved and starts. So it's not a guaranteed dollar amount until it gets approved.
I think they've made one round of grants already,
Not that I'm aware of. I have not heard anything from,
because I think Mott received a $10 million grant. I think it's for this,
I have not heard anything.
we haven't heard anything here.
but on the other hand, the one you're talking about, the Oliver County Community Foundation,
Oh, that's a different one.
yep, that's the other one because of that. We get 50,000 a year for 3 years for that deal.
Mhm.
And I'm assuming they would have put in,
Okay.
but I didn't even think to ask them about that. But for what they've got to keep doing, I'm guessing they're going to be tapping into everything they can get their hands on. So just to entertain a motion for, if you want to spend this $1,000 on the pool.
Also move.
Okay,
I'll second it.
motion by Lee, second by Blake. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Carried. Thank you. I guess I don't have anything else, so we'll adjourn the meeting.
Okay. Kyle, you're on the agenda for.
we're finished with mowing, got that done. We're in the southwest part of the county, still hauling gravel down there.
Calling it where?
Southwest, down by, I think it's 58th or 59th down in there. I think it's 59th. Got a stretch down there to do, and then we got some down by Churchtown here to do yet, and across by Marvin's there. Yeah, we got lots yet to do, but Tuesday and Wednesday, we're gonna try to check for some gravel. They called and said we can get into a couple places, so see what we can find.
Did you happen to talk to Troy? That's there.
No.
There's some pictures of somewhere. I'll look at them.
No, he ain't heard nothing about him.
He could go with his extend the hole and didn't reach bottom. He was going to get it sampled. He's kind of looking around there.
Where's that at, Daryl?
Right down by the county line, where the feedlot was there.
Yeah.
Said he went down a little over 20 feet. Couldn't reach anymore. It was still gravel. It's about 2 or 3 feet of cover there. Thank you.
So yeah, so we got them to check. And hopefully on Monday or Tuesday and Wednesday, I should say. That's what the plan is for them to do that. And then we did buy a rake to try to rake off some of this grass that, that piled on the edges from the mowers and shit because it was so thick this year. So they're trying to get them raked off.
I still think you turn them around. That would work better because what I talked to that's got the same brand. That's what they do. They go against the traffic.
Yeah, if you can get down the ditch.
Yeah, right.
That's
exactly.
the problem.
Exactly.
You can't go down the ditches with them. And if you can go, even if you get off the road with them, then they don't do it.
Then they don't do it.
Yeah, but if you got to be on the road, it don't work.
It's just that extra difference there.
Yep. From the shoulder to the edge of the road where you got to keep up, otherwise the blades are digging and edges and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, I followed it and I wanted it. You could just see.
And this year with the abundance of grass, some of them cut them, then it wasn't so bad, but the people who didn't first, take the hay out of them, well, yeah, it got that way, so whatever. We'll get it raked off here, and it seems to be working, so get some of that done. I'm trying to get them bladed over before it decides it's going to freeze up or whatever it's going to do. They're talking about the end.
This morning.
What's that?
So the way the windshields looked this morning was.
It's too hard this morning. That it didn't work. Yeah, get them run over and try to get a few things for winter ready. Snow fences you have to put up. So
Did you do some cleanup work where the fire was
yes,
out by Mancota?
Yep.
Where you had to blade the.
Yep.
Okay.
It's done.
It's done with it.
Yeah. I waited until we got moisture. I know people wanted. I'm not going in there. Lucky we didn't because even yesterday, it was sparking. They were red hot underneath there. A couple places you could just see how it got hot from the rocks.
Really?
They said, I know a few of them asked, well, can you do it now? No, I'm not going in there. It's starting out a fire. We don't need that. So,
Okay.
but yesterday had moisture, so we finally got them. They're all knocked down. So that all taken care of. And we took care of that ditch over there by Gary's Halls. Got that straightened out now.
Try to, as long as we're talking about ditches, that section line right north of the, I don't know what you call it, transfer station or out there by Larry Ups.
Okay.
They come down, they redid the approach and they went out into Honey's field.
Yep.
Well, they never did.
They haven't got that done yet. I was wondering because,
I got a call yesterday.
okay, because I mentioned to him, maybe it's only been a week ago.
Yeah.
Because I asked
I
him,
know you had.
and I didn't know if he had gotten back out there and do it because they were trying to get some of that done.
I guess they were tearing it up pretty good this after the rain a little bit. They were coming in out of there.
Okay.
So,
Get your kettle.
you can't, I mean, if you drive out there, you can't even drop off the edge With a pickup, I mean, I wouldn't anyway.
Yeah, well, it was steep in there, and that's, so they could jump back up on the old section line down there.
Right.
Yep. I'll get a hold of them today and have them see when they could get that done.
Thanks. Blade's been working good since we took the fuel tanks off.
Not a problem anymore, and, yeah.
It's crazy.
Don't understand that one, but yeah, so far they've been working good again.
All the summer help is still on?
Oh yeah.
For how long do you think they'll freeze it? We can.
Yeah.
No
Try-
snow flies.
Well, yeah. Gonna try to push them as hard as I can to see if you can get some of this graveling done, you know. If it starts freezing, well, that'll be the end of them because that pile is wet. So, yeah, that'll be the end of it. But hopefully we can get a couple weeks out of them yet. Try to push them till at least Thanksgiving. So,
Are things slowing down out in the wind tower area?
yeah.
They're slowing
They're-
down.
They're slowing down. The trucks we're done, but they're coming back, I think, this next week.
To haul more
To haul
gravel.
To haul more
And-
gravel.
And they gotta clean up all the approaches,
Yeah.
the ones that they made bigger.
That's
They're cleaning them up.
They got a few of them left.
They are, like I said, they're cleaning them up.
They got a few of them left to do yet. So that's what the plan is. They're gonna bring trucks, I heard Monday back, but if they can get them back, because some of them are down in Wishick and some of them are up in Grand Forks and some of them are out by Medina, so
Cause I
we're
think
gonna try to,
as of last week, they still had like 20 towers to put up yet.
yeah.
Wow.
What do they need to gravel for then, just the roads or
Yeah, they got roads and around the towers, they got
on the towers yet?
gravel yet too, so.
But they are using some of the approaches that they made bigger. I know they take the gravel off of that
They
and
can get in
around
there.
there. And then where they had that cement plant, they cleaned all that up, and I'm sure they're using some of that gravel for around some of the
Yeah, they are.
wood towers.
You think they're still on their projected schedule to be
No.
completed by the end of
No.
November?
They're
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 behind.
off.
He already
They,
told me
they
that.
figured by Thanksgiving the last time, he said no. He said the only way that was gonna work if everything stayed running the way it should. He said,
They're
yeah,
big,
So
they're big cranes.
Do they don't shut down for the winter, do they?
Well, he said they
Really?
will if it gets too much snow and too cold.
too cold, yeah,
But their big cranes have been
giving them fits.
giving them, they've been breaking down.
Yeah, they. So,
So we're looking more.
I'm
if-
sure they'll
if
have
it's
to
possible
finish up
by the end of the year.
yeah, maybe if the
Yeah.
weather cooperates with them, that's gonna be the.
And then they will come back next spring,
Oh yeah, they're gonna have
Or
to
the-
do-
clean everything
Redo
up.
all roads. so.
get rid of roads and everything else and whatever else. They got section lines to clean up. Some of them yet. Try to level them off where they can use them. And, so.
Another thing, it was, Jimmy decided about the low boy and stuff.
Yeah, need to get that.
Yeah, Gary, call again on that if he's interested in that other, plow truck. Yes.
Sure.
If you don't know,
These are ones we have that
Yeah.
want us, okay.
you know, if you wanna, should we advertise it or just sell it?
I don't know.
But we might wanna advertise it for,
Happy 2 weeks and maybe next week I can get you that information and
Sure.
try to in between the gravel testing and yeah.
I should be,
Which week did you go?
not till
Hi.
December.
Oh, okay. Well,
It should be here, you know, barring any complications, I guess.
same here. So.
What else you got going?
That's about it right now. So
Beaver Dam's got out.
yeah, been back bunch on my back already.
Backfill on them up already.
Bluegrass Road, it's down about maybe a foot, maybe, and they got it built back up again.
Built it right back.
Yeah. So we'll wait a while yet until it decides it's going to freeze, and
And dig them
then
out.
we'll dig them out. that'll take care of them for the winter, though. Yeah, it seems like every time we dig them out early, yeah, they come back and haunt us again because they just build up. Springs are pumping, and yeah. We got that one up there, and up by Sprouts, they got that one about plugged again. Yeah.
Okay, you're gonna hang around, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What the Youth Works agreement? Under the other business.
I gave you guys each a copy in your folder for that. We have an agreement with them every year. It's that one that basically it's for, youth detention if we have to take them down. It's this really thick one here. You should have a copy of it. Should be a copy.
Under the-
I think the one first one we had there. It's a draft on the front of it.
Yes, yep.
That one has.
Yep.
Oh, okay. So in general, what do we? So
We
don't to
already
read through
have-
all this right now, what?
We have an agreement with them already. This is basically just a renewing of that agreement. But I'm gonna let our legal advisor look through it and tell me if it's good.
Patrick, you read through all of it already?
Haven't seen it yet.
Okay. There's a lot here. Why don't we just let this one go for right
Sure.
now? That we get into some of these we can handle quicker.
That's fine.
The Vision West. Let's do that one.
We are a member of like the WDEA, but the Vision West, they are closely associated with them and they put on like different workshops for kind of that area. We were at the one in Beulah that, they were talking about the different energy and, whatnot last week. And we're not a member of them, but if we would become a member of them, we could go to some of those workshops for like a discounted fee basically, and they would come to Oliver County and put workshops on. I think it could be pretty beneficial for us as a county to have a membership so we can attend some of these conferences that they put on, because I didn't know about the one up in Beulah until we were there. But Patty and I attended a planning and zoning one that they did in July, and it was very well put together and very informative. They get a lot of speakers that would help us, in learning and drafting different things for planning and zoning, but even just for the county, so we learn more about stuff coming into the county. I think it would be good. I think in the folder I gave you guys a handout of their fee breakdown. The gal in charge of it said that most counties do the supporter fee, which is $800. But they have a breakdown of what we get depending on what you pay. Realistically, I think we could get away with just being an associate membership, and then we just.
Of course, you get the information on it, right?
Hmm?
If you're an associate, you can still get the information.
You would still get the information, and then it would give you like the, discounted fees into these workshops. Basically, when you start paying more, it's just like an advertising thing, and we don't really necessarily need to advertise for Oliver County necessarily. So,
I've gone to a few of these over the years, and they put on exceptional workshops. I mean, for the
They are very good.
to be honest. And I would recommend that whichever one you recommend the associate one.
I would think that would be more than enough for us as the county. She said most counties do the supporter one, but when you look at the breakdown of what a supporter fee gets you, it's basically just listing of our county on their website, advertising basically. We really don't need advertising, I guess. So, no. I would say associate would be more than enough for us, but
That should recommend that we go along with that. And any comments on it? Wait. Okay, can I hear a motion that we approve joining on the associate level?
Second.
Motion by Darrell, second by Blake. Any further discussion on this? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye.
I'll fill out the application and get that going for us. So.
State Fair delegate.
We do this every year. Have to appoint a delegate to attend the state fair meeting in December, I think it is. Every year it's always been Rick, so kind of up to you guys. Just need a motion appointing him or whoever you want to appoint as a state fair delegate.
I'll move to appoint for.
Okay, motion by Darrell to appoint Rick Schmidt as the delegate.
No second.
Second by Blake. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Concrete estimates.
We have copies of the two estimates we got for the concrete work out in front of the front entrance, and then they're looking at doing some in the back, like by the back doors and going towards the post office, because there's that big section that's just completely destroyed. I mean, it's terrible. So we had two companies come in. I mean, they're not too far off from each other, but
Fix that.
it could be worse.
Well,
Yeah. So
When they come out, I was involved in this one here. And out back, we decided to talk about, I shouldn't say we decided, but we talked about putting a handicap ramp in where the curb is, it goes to the sidewalk to go to the post office.
yeah, kind of right where the parking lot. It's the corner. Yeah.
The curb is pretty well shot right there anyway, so we just knock that down. And put
there is no handicap right now.
There-
Is that there?
No.
So then you could be able to make it turn, you could come up there and make it turn
Oh,
right back in. So, and that followed through on the other one also.
Yes. Yep. I did talk to them about that when they came.
But I mean, it was just a suggestion. Maybe.
Yep.
When could they get after it?
Not till spring. The big reason why we're looking at the front is because, you know, we got dinged with the accessibility survey for election. Obviously, the election is over, so, you know, it's not this big, huge rush to get it done, but we should get it done. And then all the concrete out front is matching and looks
That would
good.
include everything. I haven't finished
It would
everything
be
out front too.
the big slab
Yeah,
out
big
front
slab.
until the sidewalk, basically, is kind of, I think, what they were looking at. You
This
know,
one
like,
was pretty much all the way down to the curb on one side.
down to the street. Yeah, that's what they looked at too for this one. I told them, I said, everything under the canopy going to the street,
Yeah.
because it needs to be worked on. Yeah.
Because the rebar is sticking through.
So, you think what they're
I think
estimating here is what needs to be done?
there's quite a bit out back too, on both clover was,
Mm-hmm.
Especially that one over there, and there's all piles of ice up there, and yeah,
and
that's.
then there's another spot over there that was, someplace in between there was a spot that was bad too, that
Yeah, the whole, they're gonna
did a whole.
redo the whole one that goes towards the post
Cause
office.
that's
all the way from.
All the way, yep.
Yeah, 'cause that was pretty.
They asked about the, I guess the handicap ramp going out on the street, and I said, well, the sidewalk is technically,
Well, it's still.
yeah, but they are gonna, I don't know, I think,
I know the one that I talked with, this first one.
Brando's, I don't know for sure, yeah.
He suggested just, do that, leave it right there.
Yeah.
And dig it out and put it on, put it on there.
Mhm.
So,
Well, it needs to be done.
It does, yep.
But it's not possible yet this fall.
No.
Yes.
It would not be until the spring, which,
Did they say whether the price would go up come
they
next
haven't
spring?
really said, but that's something, yeah, I guess, but.
Would you know how everything goes up with concrete?
I
He's the
think
one that
if,
told me that they wouldn't be able to do it till spring.
yeah, I would think if we approve, what they're estimating, that they would have
So I
to
have to stick to it.
stick with the quote that they gave us. I know it says on the bottom, it's an estimate, they may have to increase, but they would let us know, because if the work ends up being a little bit more than what they anticipated, until they get in there and start digging stuff out, maybe it's gonna be a little bit more, but, they would let us know in advance.
Do we have any special funding?
We
Make this one
could use, we have the LATCF fund, which is basically, you can use that for anything. I believe we could use the ARPA dollars as well, because, when I spoke with NDACO about asking, they said, a lot of the counties that have ARPA dollars are using it as basically general fund replacement. And so you can kind of use it for just about anything. So that is something we could technically use.
Kind of. Okay.
Kind of. There are stipulations, but that is, you would end up paying for something like this most likely out of the general fund anyways, or capital projects, but we do have some money available. The LATCF, we have about $90,000 in there, so I don't see why we couldn't use it for this. But because the ARPA stuff has to be designated by the end of this year, it's an option as well. So,
That would be the way to go.
I know we talked about designating some of that for the police vehicles too, but. So, yeah.
Well, I think we should go ahead and improve the one from Brando's Concrete.
That's what I was gonna say.
And, so I'll call for a motion to accept the bid from Brando's Concrete.
I'll move to accept the bid for.
One second.
Motion by Darrell, second by Blake. Any further discussion on this? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Well, approved.
Okay, I will get a hold of them after the meeting and let them know.
Are we ready for deny? Okay, let's-
Did you want to list on this today? I just go through it. Let's
we'll bring that up. Okay, try to the end of the meeting, if it's okay.
Sure, that's
Okay,
fine.
okay, sure. Okay, this section, CNI section line closure petition and public hearings.
Look over here, just in case you wanted to. You want to help me with this one? Yeah, let's just do another one. Just another review, just in case some people get better without an aerial on it. So, there's a couple, same map, just an aerial or not an aerial, depending on how you guys like to
Okay.
see like to visualize it. So I guess refreshing last month came in, just petitioning to close the county section lines and roads that are depicted in the red lines here. The numbers correspond with the petition that you guys have, just describing what those ones are. Got Jaden information again right after this. We had this posted in the paper, so then this is our public hearing for if people have any questions, concern. And if you guys have any questions for me, I will just kind of open up the questions. I've kind of presented this one already. Maybe I'll throw one thing in there.
Okay, this questions are open for anybody.
Yeah, this is our public meeting, so I guess it's.
So if anybody has any comments, you're welcome to bring them up.
When do you want to close these?
The petition states we're hoping to have this closed by the second quarter of 2025.
Okay, did you tell some of the landowners you wouldn't close the one for 9 years? The one that would be between Chuck Keeters and Crafts, Forsberg's, Marvin Fleegers,
Yeah, it would be closed to the public.
by 25 you're talking.
Yes, with this petition, it'd be closed to the public.
Does that mean that the landowners still can use that
Correct.
for access?
And if there's any blockades depicting that, the landowners will be given access. Yep, we will maintain access for landowners and tenants on all of these roads that aren't affected by mining operations at this point in time.
So you have gates?
Potentially, I can't confirm. Like we don't have a set plan right now. We have a gate on every spot. It's a potential thing that they could have a gate, they could not.
So how do you determine or police something that, like hunters or something like that aren't aware of that,
Yeah, so, sorry. I guess, so our intent, what we've historically done on this, Clyde, is we went and just put a sign up. If we don't think a sign is adequately deterring people, mine property, closed road, whatever it has to be for a sign, that's when we would go to a step with potentially a gate. That's why I don't want to just say jump, we're going to put a gate up. Our first deterrence is always signage.
Well, that doesn't really become a big issue anyway, does it, until some sort of mining operation go into effect?
Yeah, we've had the only reason I say that we've had some trespassing on the mine in the last year, and people coming in on roads that are closed or different things like that, and then they might start down here on our permit area, which we're liable for and responsible for, but then they end up in here, and that's when problems can occur.
Well, I know the drag line was knocking on that door on that intersection down there by east of Ruther's.
Yeah, it's right here. Yeah.
So that mile east of the Ruther yard, and then going down to Crafts, if you want to close that in 25?
What? Sorry. Mile east?
Yep. And then that mile south.
Yep.
So you would have a road down to the Morton County line, the checkered red and black?
The purple and black, this would be the proposed route for basically people that were living below this line, wanting to try to go this way. They historically go like this would now be their route. So instead of them coming here, they're now coming like this.
Okay, have you contacted emergency services at all, ambulance, fire? Because they're gonna have extra miles, right?
We did last year. When we initially brought this up to we had meetings with LEPCRA or whatever.
Because that's gonna add, say if you have to go to the Dagleys or Crafts, that's gonna add a good 10 to 12 minutes probably to the, depending on the ambulance or fire truck. Have you approached Martin County at all about tying into their
I've
road?
been to a road commission meeting. Yep, and they've been made aware of this proposal that was brought to you guys.
Okay, and then up on 6. That's the one between Brian and I. So we both use that. How's that gonna work? What's done on the west side of the county road on 37th? You've got a number 6 there. Right south of my dam.
Yeah. So this is Lee Dressers, I believe,
Yeah.
and this is Lee Dressers. Correct?
So
So
we'll still be able to use that.
yeah, I guess again that section line until mining occurs is open to the landowners and the tenants.
Okay, then on section, is it 30? You know, Steve Crafts, south of Steve Crafts, where the cemetery is, going south that mile, that road has to be rebuilt, right?
Can I defer to Kyle here for a second? I've driven this road with the county superintendent. I'll let him speak.
It's
Are you
not,
familiar with it?
Oh,
Yeah, it's narrow and it's,
well, it's narrower, but it isn't that much narrower than the rest of them are. It's gonna have to have gravel on it, you know that, and stuff.
okay, so you talked to Steve. If they gotta haul them semis 4 truckloads a day up to Hensler, them intersections down there on the Morton County side, you know, you're gonna go south and then west a quarter mile and then south again and then west. Are there gonna be curves or what are you gonna do as far as the semis? You know
Planning
what
on
I'm talking?
Yeah, because they could make the correction lines down there, is what you're talking.
Yep.
So currently, as this is how it would be. Speaking directly to Steve, Steve did sign a letter of support of this plan, and he said he wouldn't be here today, but he would sign it and leave it for the commission's review. Of this, that's not putting a curve in here, and it's not doing any widening on this road. It would be as presently constructed.
And Daglies, did you talk to them at all?
I've also talked with them. I've engaged with them. I have not got feedback back directly of what their preferred option on that was.
Who owns the property that's, from the, in between the county line?
This little,
Yeah, the one that goes to Steve Crafts. That first section line as you come north, where the Rosebud Cemetery is.
right here's Rosebud, isn't it? Right.
Yeah, then you just go kitty corner to that. That quarter in there.
I have that on a map off the top of my head. I don't know what it is. I've looked at it before. I can't think. I know there's some Hudson Bueller down there, and there's some, God, Steve bought a bunch of land from him at one point in time. I can't remember the guy's name now.
Would that be Doug Keller you're trying to think of or no?
So Doug has this court. Is that the
You
one
know,
you're
John
talking about?
Mossberger Farm, yeah.
Yeah, he has this one. Yeah, that's Doug Keller. I sorry, I was thinking further down here, the ones I was thinking of.
Wow.
It's a farms.
Yeah, on the corner there, that's Steve's property now, isn't it? On the county line.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I think that's the stuff that I was talking about that he recently bought.
Yeah, just be
I
a
guess I
quarter
don't
to
know.
the north of that.
Yeah, this is Doug Keller. Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Or I think it's still under Winfred, but Doug is kind of managing that estate, I should say. That's who my point of contact for that piece is.
When would that project get rolling? 2025 or further down the road?
For
That road that you're gonna put in past,
so this isn't an install. This is pre-existing road.
oh, so there's nothing, it's just gonna be.
Yeah, this would just be the way the traffic goes. There's no build out. The road is already existing.
Okay. All right.
Which one was they talking about that's supposed to be narrower than the others? Right there.
Yeah, I'll say I've talked with Steve a little bit about it because I'm like, hey, tell me, he farms this way and he farms this way. His thought was he thought recently that it felt like it was wider because you guys started blading the ditches differently, like the grass was kind of creeping up a little bit, and he thought that made it better. Or I gauged him and said, hey, do you think we should do something here? He didn't think it was worth it, but again, I'm not a specialist when it comes to those type of things, and that's why I also wanted to
I asked him too, and he said, it's fine with me. We're using it the way it is. It don't bother us any.
One thing I'm looking at is the last closure we had a lot of issues with roads that were being rebuilt that weren't done properly. So,
Yeah, on this stretch, correct. I think it's the one that merges.
So basically no rebuilding whatsoever.
Is there anything like Kyle that won't work for the county here?
Not really. I mean, they said that road going south, yeah, it's a little bit narrower, but it ain't nothing that's serious. And it's only been, I'm gonna say maybe 12 years ago, that crap pulled the fences out of it, and then we sloped them ditches, and then he comes one day and he says, I pull all these fences, can you guys slope them ditches off so they ain't so steep? So we did that, and they were happy with that. So I said to Steve, he was happy, he didn't want anything done with it. He said, it's good the way it is for me, for my trucks, and we were wondering the same thing, trucks and your big equipment. He said,
So Kyle, if like Steve's hauling and another vehicle, they get by pretty decent or?
fair, you gotta watch a little bit in places, but most of it's in good shape.
Cause that quarter mile, that's gonna be a jam.
Well, yeah, but it's fairly wide down there too, where, you couldn't meet two of them on the corner, a semi and him at the same time, you wouldn't want to make it.
Have you heard any comments from any of the property owners that say that something won't work in here?
We sent letters out to all the property owners and all these. I've not received any feedback. I'll say the only feedback I solicited basically was from landowners that are directly in some of these routes, and I didn't solicit from all of them. It's ones that I was talking to through different areas, and I had the only one that I'll say I didn't get direct feedback from, yes or no, was the Dagley families. I've engaged with them, but I haven't got a really like this way or this way from them.
So those of you that are here right now, is there any major problems with this?
No, I haven't talked with Steve too, and he doesn't as long as that road, But I think one thing, like I say, that if the ambulance or fire have to go down there, I figured it out. It's going to be 17 miles coming out of center because you have to go down and then come back.
Going to Minn Kota and going around and coming back.
Or else Morton, out of New Salem would be just as close. It'd be 17 miles each one. For emergency
A little
services.
inconvenience, but nothing that it can't work with the way it sounds.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think you're probably saying, I'll just say it a different way. Steve, we kind of figured from his place to get to center now, compared to what it is, it adds about 7 miles one way. So you must be, it's probably usually 10 and then 17.
Yep.
So I guess I haven't read all of
Existing
them.
10 now,
Okay.
comparing. So that road would get gravel, well, you'd have to, right? Get extra gravel on it before you close it.
It's going to have to have.
Yeah, it's I guess that's something me and Kyle.
When we
talked
get closer,
about.
we'll have to look at it and see what it's right now.
And look on gravel on that side of it.
That number 2 road that's marked here on this sheet, is that the one going east of Ruthers?
Correct.
That one there, you would put up gates like you have over on that intersection, right?
Yeah, so I think the intent, or Clyde, would be, you know, so that gate's usually right here right now. We'd probably move that gate somewhere here, or maybe even here. Kind of probably work a little bit with. I don't think this Steve farms this, so I think he'd always access it from here. So we'd probably put the gate on this side still of that quarter line. I don't know if it makes sense to come all the way here. You can still leave some gap there. The one that's here, we've already started looking that we probably end up putting it right here on this quarter line, so the dolls can get into their field pretty easily still. See, so these guys, when they're coming up here, still farming the stuff that hasn't been affected yet, they're not having to go through the gate to
But
access
that'd
their
be
fields.
totally close to the public then, just like the gate you got there now.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, we would just be trying to provide access still to guys to their fields, and we'd probably place the gates accordingly and make it easier for them rather than sticking them all. Realizing that we'll probably have to move those gates again, we'll probably try to work with those guys, make it a little bit easier on them.
The mining is gonna continue on the pattern that you guys are on now?
Yeah, it keeps coming at this diagonal angle, like this, basically coming off of this corner here, coming here. And sorry, I don't have the mine plan map actually on here. This one comes out this way as well, so it keeps coming at this diagonal.
Yeah, because I see you make a swath and then you come back.
Yeah,
Yeah, I used to.
it's like we're mowing the grass. It's kind of fun to look at the aerials actually if you go throughout time, that you can see when, you know, as you're progressing with the coal when it comes out and stuff like that. You can see
What about the pipeline? How close can you get to that for mining? Or is there a plan to move that pipeline or?
far enough out. I don't have a clear answer for you. But yeah, we can't go over it unless we do something about it.
How close can you get? Because if you have to dynamite, or blast, whatever you guys call it.
I don't know how close we can be to that for disturbance, for buffer around that. And where I go with that, I think like normal utilities are 20 feet, but I don't know, depending on the pressure of that line, they probably have certain requirements around their own pipeline, how close we are. And I don't know what that is, Dave, so I can't give you an accurate answer. And I think that runs approximately, isn't it like right here-ish? Somewhere right about here. I think it's right in this corner of Dave's stuff. Portsburg, I think, is where that pipeline crosses the road.
Yeah, right on the corner.
It's somewhere down in here, if I remember correctly.
Almost guarantee it's more than 20 feet to the time.
Yeah, yes, I was just saying disturbance. I know when you're digging around one. I wasn't taking the blasting component into account, just more on the disturbance side. And most of these, you know, like that's the Marathon line. I know I've worked with other production companies, and they usually have their own rules of like that's like the state rules, the regular rules that we can't even do 1 feet or something like that without notification and stuff like that. So, I don't know their specific one on that line.
So, I know you're closing that section line on, you're coming out by 28th Street, you know, going
28
west.
and 37.
Where you come off that section line from Chuck Keeter's going
Yep.
west.
Yep.
That big hump, the hill going on the county road.
Yep.
Is there any talk of building that up for the farmers with their big equipment?
Potentially, we could do some work there if that was closed. We would probably do work.
And then you'd probably do a little graveling for them guys too then in that soft spot.
Yeah, we'd probably be looking at doing some graveling for, again, the private access. It'd be a private access road for the landowners and tenants to get through there. Because that is a disturbance, we don't get to that one for a few more years. So it's a road that we could maintain at a private level for a few years to help these guys out, make it a little bit easier for their travel.
See, and that'd be the one if Steve cuts across from his place going west. And he's gotta come out by that pipeline where that big valve is south of Forsberg's. Lee, remember when we drove out there and saw them?
Mhm.
If you're coming with a semi, you're gonna have to back up probably a good quarter to a half mile to get back up that, and then, unless they build it up for him.
And currently, he tells me he drives it unloaded. He doesn't drive it loaded. That section line currently is what I've been informed. And then I'll say the other one too. I don't know if you guys have been down there. Darren Holger just broke up a bunch of pasture down there too, so they'll be utilizing that section line as well. And I think that's in some of the Luther land, if I'm remember.
What has the mine been doing for practice of when they come in and they they come up to a place in all the buildings and that, do they just put them up for bids? They used to, but like say the first place you're gonna probably hit is probably Chuck Gators, right? As you're mining, and then when you mine like you did with Larry Schmitz, what do you do with the buildings and things when you get to that point?
Appreciate the question. I can answer that out of this hearing right now for the road, but I'll gladly answer that with you if we can address it afterwards if you'd like.
Yeah, because years ago we had bought one from Hammerside Place years ago. I just was wondering because
and some of it variable. Like I said, I'll gladly entertain it. I don't even mind doing it here, but just right now this hearing, I'll stick to it.
Because it's a shame that some of them get wasted.
Yeah, and we've had different approaches throughout the years. So.
Any other comments from the group?
What is the peak checkered line, like on the west side?
Permit boundary. That's our permitted, the area that's permitted with the Public Service Commission. That is the pink is our 1101 permit. You can see the light blue here, that's our 9401 permit, and you might even see a little bit of I think I got the yellow line shut off there, trying not to be distracting, but then that's our Area B, our 9702. That's just permit boundary, what's permitted with Public Service Commission.
So the first road closure would occur in the spring
Yep.
of 25.
Yep, that would be our intent of having this approved to be closed at that point in time. Basically what we do then in the spring is we would move these gates to then close this intersection. So the only physical, that would be the first physical move that you'd see, of just that would be closed to the public at that point in time. Again, we've been debating on some of these other ones. Like right now the plan is to signage them, and potentially there could also be gates depending on if we have problems with trespassing or not. But for sure there would be on that, since it is county road coming from each way, that XYZ, somebody from not around here, he's following Google Maps and trying to deter those people. So.
You have two drag lines going on that side of the, whichever one it is, or the one we're talking about. Yeah, the one but you've got two of them southeast the power plant, right?
So we have one drag line right now, right here. Way up in so we have this one, our small drag line, our 736 drag line that was mining here. And then he got moved up here over just to the south of that southeast power plant. The other's just directly south of the power plant in this area.
Oh, so you only have the one that's gonna continue on.
Here, and then he's up here, and he has a little bit of other work to. This little one's going to be just right in this area here for the. Right now, his intended lifespan is here, and then we don't have another plan for him.
Oh,
that little.
Okay.
Anything else? Do you have anything else you want to present to the group?
I don't. After this hearing, it's kind of up to you guys. If you guys want to vote today, they're welcome. That if you guys want to vote at a different time, that's your guys' prerogative. And appreciate you guys' input on all this stuff. So that's all I have for the day.
Is there a deadline on when you need action? Action from the commissioners.
I would ask that you guys would do it today. I can understand if you don't want to, but I would ask for it today just since we've went through this process. But that's, I'll say our deadline is we do this intersection, we need this closed by the middle of next year, because our intent is to, if we follow our designated mine plan that we have right now, we would strip through that intersection the ask, I guess it would be beneficial right now to have that close. We are doing some substation work in that area of moving a substation into this field. If it wasn't closed, we'd drag it through the field. If this road was closed, we'd drag it down the road, which would be easier to do. Again, we can work either way around that. That's minor things, but I would entertain it today. So
Kyle, I do have a question. You know that Morton County side, do they blade that east-west road that you have very often? Because they aren't very good at blading the north-south. So is the east-west one gonna be? Because like if we gotta go to the cemetery, which we mow, you know, on a moisture year a lot.
Yeah.
So is that something where?
You're talking the correction line in there, the east-west stretch?
Yeah.
Half mile or a quarter, whatever it is?
Well,
Or are you down farther? Where you?
down further. Because you'd have to go, so right here, it's
Yeah.
miles
Show me,
south,
it's
well,
either-
south of the county line. This here,
Oh, that stretch in there?
and then this one here.
Yep.
That'd all be in Morton County.
Yeah, it's all in Morton County. Yeah, that one's hit and miss even during the wintertime sometimes, but they're gonna have to, if it's gonna be open, gonna have to step up and keep it, you know. Cause
So
there's a
then
lot
like,
of,
for Crafts and Dags, he's gonna have to track on Morton County to get him to.
oh yeah, cause ours is at the correction line. We usually do the correction, well, it depends on who's there first, which most of the time we are. We do the correction line, you know, over to their corner there, and then we stop, you know, so.
I guess the thing I'd wonder is about, you know, like 2 years or like, 2 years ago,
You know, that's-
all that snow, and if Morton County don't open it, Crafts have to go all the way to the east.
Yeah, they'd have to go out the east way and come across and whichever comes to mine or to the plant or go out to 25, whichever.
So something have to happen in Morton County. Or you just hope.
so Steve's comment, me and Steve thankfully discussed that a little bit. His comment was he plans to contact Morton County. That doesn't mean that, you know, I can't say what's going to happen with that by any means, but he's thought of it at least, because he's like, they're usually, it makes sense for Morton County. That's kind of a corner of their county. It's one of the last places they usually get to, and he's kind of made the intention to try to ask to see.
Could you send a blade out there and help them out if they needed to get it? You know what I'm saying?
Could we? As long as we have permission, what the rest of it can we find the time? I would hate to make big, wide sweeping commitments, but we're usually been pretty good about things like that, I'll say. So that'd be my 2 cents.
That'd be more than County, you'd have to talk to them.
Right.
I don't know if they're-
My feeling is we should make a decision, no reason to keep being high on hold. And we'll go do stuff. I don't know, I'll leave it up to you guys, you feel the same as I do, that. Okay, so I'll entertain a motion to approve the temporary clothing section, okay. Motion by Blake, second by Darrell. Any further discussion on this? Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Appreciate it, gentlemen.
Do I have anything else?
Nothing off the top of my head. This was the focus, so thank you guys.
We're gonna talk about weed board. Who's here to discuss the weed board? Patrick?
I don't have anything to add other than the letter that I sent.
Okay. So we have the other business, so there's nothing for the weed board, okay.
Do we need to discuss that letter, or are we just?
Okay, tape
No.
drive replacement discussion.
So this is techie, and I'm not techie, but our IT guy, Jamie, we had some issues with our tape drive, which is basically the backup for our server that we have. It backs up every day's transactions that go on our server. The tape drive was not replaced when we replaced the server a couple of years ago because it was still good. Now it's starting to act up. And if that goes down, we're kind of in some trouble. I did put in your folders the cost. The email that he sent me with the quote is about $6,500. Yes, that one. I am recommending that we just go ahead and do it, and we can use ARPA dollars to pay for it, or the LATCF, whichever one. Because if that goes down, we're in trouble. So,
I'll move.
okay,
Get it replaced.
okay.
Second, sounds like it's a good deal.
Okay, motion by Blake, second by Daryl. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Right.
Aye. Approved.
Perfect, thank you.
Cloth chairs in the sheriff's department.
I think you all have a copy of the email I got from Carrie about that. There's some chairs in there, that she's wanting to get rid of. They don't use them. She is wondering if you would be willing to either sell them to this new wrestling club in New Salem or donate them. I don't know.
Now, New Salem goes along with Center for Wrestling.
Yes, yep. But this would be, what she says, it's the New Salem Center Wrestling Club. She was going to talk to them. She said Dave spoke with Dave Wolding from New Salem. He's opening a wrestling program in the Golden West Shopping Center down there in New Salem. So that's where like the center club would go and do what they need to do. Their old chairs. And
Can we donate or do we have to sell?
The last time we tried to donate, our advice was to us, we couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So we have to sell.
I was gonna say the same thing if they want them for $1 a piece.
So
sure. Okay.
And then we should throw in our big table.
That's sitting in the vault. Sure. If they want a big table, I suppose we could tell them you can take it for $1 or whatever, and we can get it out of here.
wrestling table.
I don't know.
It's more for meetings.
Oh, and in the email, there are some very old file cabinets that they're interested in as well that are in the, this is all stuff that I think is back in the old jail cells that she's just trying to get stuff out of there so it's not just clogged full of stuff.
If that's where it's located, that could be another situation because that stuff back there, there was a water leak back there.
Right.
So that stuff could be got rid of without selling.
Correct. Because it could have water damage.
Right.
So it could just
And I
be,
know I helped on that back there.
could be thrown away. So,
Maybe that's the route.
I mean, that's kind of, we can dispose of said
Just by doing that.
furniture and
They can haul it away,
cabinets
do
and
what
they
they
can haul it away and, yep. I can let them know.
I guess
I'll move that we do that.
oh, okay. Okay, the motion, what motion did you make now? That was,
To
Due to the water
do
damage,
the water damages.
we are making a motion to dispose of some
Chairs
chairs and cabinets that are in the jail cells.
and the wrestling team would.
then the wrestling,
The wrestling team will get
the
rid of them.
wrestling team could take whatever they desired
They would,
and $1.
they would haul it out, they just let them haul it out and then they can do what they want with it.
Okay, I like that better, yeah.
I'll second that
Okay.
motion.
Okay,
Selling price of $1 per unit. No?
Just give it to them.
Disposition of
They
it.
haul it out.
Okay, okay,
they're disposing of it.
okay.
So we don't
What's your
see
time
it.
frame on it?
I'd have to talk to Carrie about that. She's the one who brought this up and asked me to put it on the
Give it a
agenda,
couple
so
weeks or
I'd say probably sooner than later is what I'm guessing.
within a couple of weeks or something.
Yeah.
At least by the end of the year.
Well, or that, yeah. I know she wants to get it out of there pretty quick, but I got a lot of stuff need to get burnt up yet too, so.
Okay, we have a motion and a second, and any further discussion?
As soon as possible, they can dispose of said
Trying to
things.
get that area cleaned out, so thanks.
Sound simple enough? Okay, that motion, that's all in favor of it?
Aye.
Aye, okay, approved,
Cool, thanks.
however you wrote it up.
Yeah, I got it.
Highway utility permit, West River Telephone.
13th Street Southwest. I'm not really sure who LMAC LLC is,
Yeah, oh,
Down by Hensel. There's some holes on the Hensel building.
I'm looking at the aerial of that, it's like that big looking shop building, that black and gray one
We have
almost.
that hill over there.
Yeah, that's kind of what it looks like. They just mailed these to me. They don't do any details.
okay, could I hear a motion to approve the highway utility permit for West River Telephone?
I'll move.
Motion by Blake, second by Daryl. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Do I need to sign it?
Yes, you do. Thank you.
Ellsworth, not here?
I don't know when he was gonna show up, but I
Okay.
told him we didn't have time till after 10:30, so.
Are we okay to go ahead and schedule on the 10 o'clock planning and zoning? updates?
I can go get the folders if we wanna take like a few minutes to take a couple minute recess.
Okay. 5-minute recess.
Thank you.
We're out the gal.
Everybody take a charge.
You got it, man. All
Okay, 10 o'clock session, planning and zoning updates.
So the conditional use, that's the one we're doing right now, right?
Yes. that was the
Okay.
first one.
It's for Minnesota Power and Story River Energy, that it's a joint application.
They're here if they wanna.
Yeah, if you guys wanna come up and talk.
Well, good morning, thanks for having us. I'm Dan McCartney, this is Kyle Larson.
Good morning.
We're with Minnesota Power. We were here earlier this summer to talk about this project as we were in the process of developing it. We're here now for a conditional use permit. If it's all right, I can go through a couple of slides real quick. Kind of give you an update on where things.
Whatever you'd like to do. Yes, you have the floor right now. So.
Okay. I'm gonna pass out some things really fast.
No, this one.
No, I'm good.
You wanna look at it?
Hang on here.
Is that the one you sent us, like updated?
You've seen it.
Yeah,
Was
yeah,
it- yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You're good?
I got one.
You want an extra for you?
Okay. No, we're good. We got it. Yeah.
Thank you.
They were,
Yeah, you guys are back.
I'm sorry.
The election's over.
yeah. Let's not go into that.
Okay. So I'll run through these, but if I'm in the way or something, just tell me to move. All right. So Minnesota Power, jumping over to slide one, Minnesota Power owns and operates a 460-mile transmission line that runs from Duluth, Minnesota to here in Center. The center end of the line, the substation and converter at the end of this line was built in the 1970s with equipment that has been the last 30 years. We're now well beyond 40 years and we need to replace that obsolete electrical equipment. Moving down to slide 2 for folks who aren't sure where the existing facility is now. It's about 5 miles southeast of where we're at now. It's on the other side of Nelson Lake across from Minnesota's Milton Young facility. We do have some constraints with the project. You're jumping over to slide 2. The first is that the regional electric grid will not be able to accommodate a long outage of this line. And also it is, as you can see on this map here, it's the facility itself is really isolated electrically. The green lines that are on slide 3 here all represent existing transmission lines. A couple of these are owned by us, but the vast majority of them are not. And so those are kind of the 2 constraints that we're having to deal with here. So to accommodate the spacing constraints, we're proposing to move a substation about a mile to the northwest of the existing location. And
Slide 4.
this is on, slide 4. Yep, so we're looking to move the existing substation about a mile to the northwest of the existing location. And then we would move the converter about a mile and a half to the northeast of the existing location. And then the lines that you're seeing here, the transmission lines, those are what we need to do in order to plug both of those pieces of equipment into the regional electric grid. To address the timing constraint, moving on to slide 5. we would be separating the project into two different phases over the course of about 5 years. Again, on slide 5, what you're seeing here is the stuff that you're seeing here in blue. That's our phase 1 construction. And the portions of the project in orange are what we'd be building in phase 2. We've got a couple of things going on with this project here.
What's that dark blue line right here for?
So we've got, so the question here was what's this darker blue line here? That's GRE's line that would be looping in and out of that substation. And again, someone brought up GRE. That's their portion of the project is looping in and out of that substation. The rest of it is Minnesota Power's. Good question. So the project infrastructure that you're seeing there on slide 5, all of that equipment is located on land owned and operated by either Minnesota Power or Minkota Power. With one exception, we are requesting the use of a section line road off of 35th Avenue. You can see the light colored dotted line right here in order to access the proposed substation. So
That's a road right now, or is it a section line?
It's a section line, so we'd be requesting use of that section line to access the facility. In addition to that, this project is regulated by the Public Service Commission of North Dakota. So later on this year, we would be looking to submit an application to them as well.
You're gonna have to build that section line up?
Yes. We'd have to build it to county spec or whatever stipulations the county
And we
puts
got
to it.
permission from the landowners on both sides in case you have to go out and do their property.
We're, have an easement that we're working, an option for an easement we're working on with the landowner if we have to go around some cultural sites.
We don't anticipate having to go beyond the existing section line.
Kind of done a like field review and desktop review just with an engineering firm to say, can you make it fit in here? Obviously, it's that's just what they're projecting now, but we've gone out for that option easement just to dodge stuff if needed.
Whose land is on either side of that, if I could ask?
Dan has a land list here, but
It's also on your stuff too.
what it is, it's if I'm going off memory here, it's the Vaguely, it's Myron Earhart or the Earhart Family Trust, and then Mary Earhart, I think is the other one that will run into along that section line. And then ourselves, we run into our land once we get down to the section line corner. So
One on
And then Dale Barth is on the east side of that, but we would not impact his land with that.
So that section line is the one you're talking about that goes through there, or property right in the middle of the yard?
yeah, it goes right by Myron and Matt's house, right.
It's the other one.
Where
It
it meets
comes in
22nd.
the road that goes past our farm and the golf course.
Yep.
That section line going east.
Mayor Earhart's have no problem with it.
There's some concerns, and we've been talking with them. They've brought up dust, weeds, traffic, security, speed, everything there. It's all changing, and now it's kind of a dead end road to nowhere. And so they have been voiced their concerns. We've met with them. There's nothing in writing, there's
It's
nothing
not
like
actually
that.
not a dead end road, because that section line goes over to the fence and then it goes back to the west.
Sure. And we've talked with them. I guess what we do is look to the county which way you'd want us to approach that section line or if you approve it. And from there, we just have to commit to work with the landowners for their needs. We do have a road use maintenance agreement that's with the state's attorney right now for approval.
Yep, I took a look at it. It looks just fine.
Okay. And that's just pretty standard. Jason supplied me one from the it's just kind of a first look. But as we go forward, it would be working with your superintendent, your road crews, And then the landowners, planning and zoning, we talked about fence, things like that for people that pasture their land. And, but like I said, we'd have to work with and under all the rules and regulations that you guys have and the state has, to address the problems, whichever direction you guys, the county sees the best for us to access the property. Dan,
The conversation's gone okay with your family?
We're in opposition to them using 35th Avenue to get to 22nd Street because of the fact that it's only 200 feet from my house. I mean, while my folks' house is basically the same on that road. We're barely off of that road, and I'm concerned about the traffic, the dust, the safety issues. You know, right now that road's not big enough for two semis to pass each other, plus me to haul my hay and stuff up and down that road. So I was hoping more that they would go to 36th Avenue and then run 22nd Street. I know Michael and Jaden are not in favor of that very much, but there's not as much impact, I don't believe, on that area as there is coming past my house.
So you're gonna work with the property owners and come up with some type of resolve of the problem?
We're gonna have to with the project. I mean, we're gonna be neighbors a long time here. Myron, I sat with him and his wife and dad. We heard the same concerns. We talked about a few things that could help, but they're all just, I mean, whether we escort every load into there, if we speed limit signs. Myron brought up blacktopping the road if possible to keep dust down, but then you got a traffic and speed concern as well that goes forward, and then a maintenance issue going long term. Who does that and takes care of it?
I would also encourage, I think, people looking for the lake to take that left turn.
Correct.
I really do think that would increase that.
Absolutely.
Yep. Yeah, you guys talked about it.
If they did a blacktop,
Traffic and stuff that goes in.
then people would.
People going to the lake would use that instead of 36th Avenue because they would take the wrong turn if it was blacktop.
They would go to Terry's.
That's the only time I see people in the class, so.
Dave, you had?
Yeah, I think Myron had called a couple days ago. We talked about it. When you're coming out by Bad Earhart's to go onto the highway, you're talking this. And like Terry and all them driving out, that could be a concern because if you're coming from center going east, and like the other day, 2 days ago, when I come out, all the wind tower people were going through town and they're going that route. So if these guys want to turn out and go to center and all this traffic from your guys, a safety concern more or less, something's got to be done because that hill to the west of that approach is
horrible.
Is a death trap.
And we would be willing to work with that. We could just put signage, flashing light, let folks know that,
Okay, but
there is.
like them driving out, how you can't see to the west, I guess. You can't see because there's that hill there. I go down there quite a bit and we move cattle across there. And it's a concern. We gotta have the cops sitting there every time we move cattle. Because they come flying from the west, from center, going east, and it's a blind spot is what it is.
Sure. No, we understand that. It said it's we're asking for a section line and it's gonna impact somebody. It's gonna either impact the Earharts or the Schmitz, whichever way we go, and the golf course. Obviously for us, we'd like to use an improved road and work with the landowners as much as possible in the county, but if you guys, like I said, we're looking for direction from you guys, which way you would like to see us go and what section line, if you approve or not.
And I do want to make sure that this is understood too. I mean, we would try and work with whichever direction we would move in with and the impacted landowners. It's not our intent to just barrel on it.
No,
ahead here.
not a chance. Like I said, we don't.
I guess that's what we would ask as commissioners, that you work with the landowners as best you can.
And we hear that Myron has opposition towards that concern, and like I said, we urged him that if he does have concerns, to come in and voice it too, so.
Mr. Chairman,
Michael?
can I speak on 22nd Avenue there? That's the road that runs directly through our farm, across the creek, across the spring.
That's
It's a section line.
It used to be,
It's a section.
it used to be a maintained road at one point in time, but right now, it's essentially a 2-track section line. There hasn't been a blade on there this year at all, except for when Kyle was out with Scoria and fixed the washouts in the road. I personally maintain the road from the stop sign to our farmyard. I'll blade that up if it gets bad. I've got a little box blade. There's no getting one vehicle down it some days right now. And in the spring of the year when it's soft, I don't even get across the creek. We take our cattle out of there in the spring because there's no getting over there. So if you're gonna put overweight traffic on it yet, I don't know how, without a complete rebuild of that road, it's feasible. And I'm not trying to throw Myron under the board. I get the concerns there too. We got corrals, that are 16 feet off of the section line there, and it's been like that forever. I mean, we've been there since Grandpa was there in 45 is when he came, and it was farmyard prior to that. Back to 1898 is what I've heard or been able to dig up. So I mean, I got a pretty big concern with it going through there. I don't know how that route is even feasible without essentially a complete rebuild of that road. So
I'm affected either way. They put it on the golf course or off of the highway, and to be honest with you, I honestly think the best route would be to rebuild that golf course road and bring them off that blacktop. Because everybody's used to the mine traffic in and out of that road anyway. It's going to be an eye. It's better quality road. It's not dirt, half that, I do think that would be
It
just,
takes care of the dust concern for one.
yeah, and all the people are already built off of that road. So you're not gonna be, other than the one on the corner, and I'm sorry, you are already seeing that from the BNI traffic anyways. You're eliminating going by 2 households down to one that's already been exposed to that traffic. And I will take my car down that road. No offense, I'm not saying that but I'll drive my little Beretta
I'm not
down.
following what road you're talking.
The one that, instead of coming down
22nd means nothing.
The
section line that goes by the golf
north of
course.
the golf course.
Just north.
If that road was to be built up, I think that would eliminate a lot of the issues, and then you wouldn't have to maintain it anymore either. Because this is gonna be a temporary thing,
So,
correct?
yeah, and that's one thing that I wanted to jump in on, so thank you very much. The traffic is going to be during construction. Once construction's done, the traffic's done. You're talking 1 truck a day, after construction. So it would be temporary.
Could you clarify again how long the project's gonna take? And then, I think I asked the last meeting, how many truckloads? Because you're gonna have to haul construction equipment in to level it, the dirt work, a lot of gravel, and then all your construction to build it, your people, and then equipment to haul in. So how many truckloads are you thinking about? I think I asked last time about 300 truckloads. You said probably a little more.
Well, that could be total. Like I said, it's tough to tell at that site. We are going to be, a lot of that site will be balanced. A lot of the dirt work will be right on site, but there will be truck traffic to build up the road, to do all that, deliveries. Probably in its peak, we're going to see 20, 30 loads or vehicles a day, including people coming in and out of there. It's a substation site, so it's not going to house a lot of people, but it will be. That's not a small amount of traffic compared to what's there right now. And then it starts in, depending when the county approves, and then about 6 months for the PSC to approve. So we're hoping June, July of next year starting, and it'll run up to 2029. So duration. Did I answer all your questions or try?
Yeah, so, it adds to it, so all the trucks on the paved road going to the golf course, what kind of impact is that gonna have on that golf course road, or, you know, coming off the highway? Cause that'll come off, Dollagers, Kurt Bonsness, Kenny's, Michael's, Wayne Haig,
You're just asking stretch of blacktop right there.
yeah, the trucks are
It's
gonna
a
be heavy
mile,
load.
yeah.
So what's that gonna do to the pavement, where's the county gonna come in? Is that gonna end up getting tore up, and then you guys gonna replace it, or?
There's a couple of heavy loads from the transformers. We'd have to do permitted loads on those, and it's got to get to here as well. So there would be, let's see, we have 3 different transformers, 6 loads. There'd be under a dozen heavy haul loads with the transformers coming into that site.
When you say heavy wall, you know what?
Not 100% off the top of the head.
But I wanna follow up on Kyle's response too there. Typically when we do, you know, when we come to that haul agreement, we do sign agreements that we do leave the roads in as good, if not better shape
You can't get
than when
across
they
the
were
road.
when they come. So if they do get beat up,
I mean,
you know, the truck,
when the tractor's on
instance
your
your question about blacktop, we would fix that.
That's a short
We're
Yeah,
up to it.
it's
Takes the gravel trucks,
You can't get bridging on it.
you're gonna have to move them in the spring if that all starts, you wanna get going
enough to carry.
by June or July.
Well, that's when we break
Then you're gonna have
ground.
load limits.
Yep, we break ground, so that's when the gravel went across.
It won't
So,
make
yeah,
it.
hopefully.
It's good enough for.
I don't think June's about the time to open it.
That's all.
It's for the most part on blacktop roads. Gravel just stays on longer.
And then through that slough past there.
For that hour, you're gonna keep a water truck on it, aren't you? Get the dust down.
Our road maintenance agreements were either water or chloride.
Yeah.
Part of that. There is a bridge on that blacktop. I think Michael and Kyle were talking about it.
It's 40 ton road.
Okay.
On the bridge.
And then we were just talking about that too, the heavy haul aspect of that bridge is so short that if your truck, you know, the length of your load, the truck and the trailer will be on the bridge at the same time. So there's no way you could bridge the load.
Sure.
Essentially, or get enough axles to bridge it. I guess my other aspect is that 22nd Avenue and snow in the future. Like I say, I keep that open to my cattle down there. And on a bad year, from our corral to the corner up there to where you go into Terry's or turn north to Earhart's, that plugs in with about 6 feet from one end to the other. And there's
from both Terry, Myron, and what everybody else do.
because there were a couple springs there where we got high water and you know, Grandpa still had cattle over there. We were gonna try to come in from the east, and I mean it would have been 3 days worth of digging to do that. So we wound up going across the field and making a mess. But you know, that's just what we live with there. So
Kenwood is a site that we need access 24/7 in case of emergency or anything else. So
I mean, it's a tough road to maintain. Right? There's no doubt about it, and I think that's why it's kind of gone to the wayside over the years, and is essentially a 2-track section line. You know, once you get past our yard.
How about the second line between Jeff Earhart's and Larry Dahl's? So east a whole mile of Myron's approach.
we looked at that, and there's a pretty significant hill on there that would be pretty dang tough to get through. I guess we walked with Keith Earhart one day there.
But you wouldn't have a visibility problem at least.
No, it was the topography that was getting us there. I believe there's a little flowage down there, if I remember right, and then it's a pretty steep hill there to try to get the long, heavy loads into the site with.
Is there a possibility to use a different route for daily traffic and then just use ours for the heavy loads? Is that a possibility? I mean, does it have to be one and all, or is there more than one option here?
We have, you know, looked at multiple ways to access this site along section line roads, what other options we had available, and there aren't a heck of a lot of alternatives here
Without a big investment.
for us. Yeah, I mean, when you look around that area, topography is really a really limiting
factor here with, that's just the generator. The one thing, if you went that route with the heavyweights, you wouldn't have any costs, you saving to worry about on the county.
For the bridge or where that comes in, I guess, then, so you spoke about it amongst other projects, if you have multiple routes, then we end up having to improve corners, things like that to bring up later, but that's an impact you have to work through with landowners as well. It's not it's a fair idea and, option, but is we'd have to put, I think if I remember right, in that road maintenance group, we have to put together a haul route as well once the project is getting closer for the county to look over as well and improve.
So go back to that, to the east, you said there's a big draw and stuff, so that's on the Hoadley land that we bring cattle across all the time, correct? That'd be on the east side of Terry's?
Can you?
Yeah, can you point where you get?
Yeah, can you show what you're talking about?
There's a draw to the north. So if you would run that section line that runs north in between Earhart, there's a draw in there, and then there is a draw that runs the east-west on that section. So.
If we take no action on this. Just a second. What we have to do here.
This would be Earhart.
Yep.
Patty, what did you present to us today?
Conditional use permit for the actual project.
Yeah, it's just a conditional use to, what I have in my permit is a list. I didn't give you guys this, but it's a list. Sorry.
Because
I'll put this pen in the middle. But on your building permit, there's a list of parcel numbers down here. So I listed all the parcel numbers. And I basically requested, or they're requesting that these parcel numbers be put into from A to industrial.
So you talk to Larry Paul or?
So it's not the building itself or the construction, it's
changing it over from ag to industrial.
right.
It's just for the project itself. Once that is approved or whatever, nothing about the building, nothing about the roads, nothing about
that. I can move it from A to industrial.
Yeah, you're in the top spot.
We are, because we're either gonna be talking with Michael or we talk with Myron and stuff too, I mean, somebody's gonna be impacted.
Just on the deliveries, yeah.
No, they can't.
The delivery. Last time you said this.
They can't haul it in without a load permit. They can't start the project without a They can't do anything.
It's just approved.
Plus it goes to the PSC before they can do anything. Yeah.
Let's go to them after here.
You can add conditions to this permit though, saying you need to do this, this and this. Yes, we can do that.
Right, because they can't legally right. This because all these
To change it from agricultural to industrial.
Right, correct. Oh, yeah, I mean, that's all right.
Yes, that is all we're doing.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, I'm just having like I keep hitting.
No, I wanna make sure that you guys are getting your questions answered.
Yeah, we're just getting some legalities talked on the call. What we would do today is the conditional use to change it from agricultural to industrial.
Okay.
That's it.
And then, so that's the zoning change. What would we do here for the rest of the project then? Would that just be an accepted use for that change in zoning?
No, you would come back with that building permit once you go through the PSC and everything.
To build the actual line and the substation. We need a building permit to approve too.
Okay.
Yep, this is your conditional use, basically saying that we approve of you doing the project, switching the land from ag to industrial to do this project. Then you come back with a building application with, each,
With plans. And
Yeah.
with the
Okay.
plan for the substation, the actual line, and, yeah.
It'd just be more detail. I
So
mean,
you're looking for plan and profile
right,
of the lines as well as the converter and the substation.
right.
I can do that. Will I get something then from the county then? for
We have
the-
a permit form, so basically if this is approved today, you get this saying, these are the sections, the parcels that are switching from ag to commercial or industrial. This is, I'm assuming
That
this
would
is
allow
what
you to do
the
the
PSC
project.
wants to see for sure. They
That
wanna
that
see-
was my big thing.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
PSC's gonna wanna see
Yes, the
something.
PSC will wanna see this.
And I can give this
so
to you today after
Okay.
it's signed.
Yeah.
So
Got it.
That's what this is for. I mean, cause to actually start and build the project, you also need building permits.
And with the building permit, that's the time you look to have a haul route, everything.
right, right.
Have details worked out with
Yep.
whichever landowners and routes we're taking.
Yes.
Whether
But the PSC needs this first to say that you guys can
to get the process started.
started. Yeah.
I mean, there's a stumbling block everywhere you go to get started.
I know
Right.
they like to know that you guys have worked with the county already.
Yep.
As far as we're good with you doing the project, so.
As far as working with the landowners, I think that's up to you guys, not us.
Yep, absolutely. Yep. We look for your guys' input on it too, but, and stay engaged at these type of meetings, but we'd probably be bugging Kyle a bit too on what we have to do going forward and everything else too, so. And whatever county engineer you use to build up the road or to check the roads to make sure that they are up to the capacities needed too for the loads that'll be going in and the traffic.
And this, you said the project wouldn't start until next summer, correct?
Yeah.
So I mean, that gives you plenty of time to get those permits in and things cranked out, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so right now, I'm gonna ask for a motion to approve the zoning ordinance to change it from agricultural to industrial for this area that's concerned here, under concern.
I'll move on.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion by Daryl, second by Blake. Is there any further discussion on this? Further discussion? Hearing none? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so it's approved to change the area to commercial or industrial.
Perfect.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Thank you for being here. Are you guys
Thank you.
staying for a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay, cause then I'll,
We're gonna be here as long as you tell us to.
well, I gotta get signatures and then I can give you that permit.
Yep, okay.
So. The next one is a building permit. The permit application is on the first 2 pages. And then the rest is what you do us.
No, I'm no.
But it's for WRT, basically a storage. It's for storage, they already own land.
I have an example, I believe, on one of those pages of what they are putting in. Oops.
Here?
Yep. There's an example. Is what they want.
So this is for who?
WRT.
They have an existing tower there, it's just like a building that they need on site.
38th Avenue, yeah.
It's the one south.
Huh? Yeah.
Property?
We have a lease with them.
Yep, I'll be in touch with both of you guys and we'll get back and forth and meet up and do some dinner.
So this has gone through planning zone?
Yes, both
Yep.
of these did.
And they both were approved. Like I said, this building permit's pretty cut and dry with what they're doing. They already have the land's already where it needs to be. It's just an commercial equipment building.
Okay, could I hear a motion to approve the building permit? Okay, motion by Blake, second by Darrell. All in favor? Aye. Approved.
Perfect. Oh, do you want it? That's fine. Okay. That's a lot of trash.
Yeah.
Something to sign on that one.
Yeah, I'll have you sign when I'm done. Okay.
Is that it for building?
Yep.
Additional use permits? Okay.
Yes, those are the only two. Just a quick planning and zoning update, we will have a hearing on those moratoriums this month.
Great.
For a data center and solar. Solar and data center. They will be having a hearing at the planning and zoning committee on the 21st.
Something like that.
Yeah, the week before Thanksgiving, the Thursday before Thanksgiving.
This year, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Let me know when you're ready for
Okay. Okay.
the other one.
Equalization.
Okay, so I have a few abatements, and not a few, I have 5. And I kind of gave you guys a printout just because there's a lot of numbers I'm going to be throwing out at you, so you guys don't have to worry about seeing if you did it right or not. Do you need it? I didn't think so.
Can I give you one?
Yeah. So, like I said at the top, please note that so we send out tax statements by December 10th. You guys moved your commission meeting to the 12th. So it doesn't give me a lot of time for us. We can't because we have to try to get these abatements processed. And then so those tax statements can get sent out on the 10th. So everything that I'm going to be, all the numbers that I'm going to be giving you are estimated. I talked to Jaden, we do not predict, most of these are actually like Oliver County and those won't change. But what's the ones you haven't gotten yet?
I have not gotten numbers from Morton and McLean County.
And I don't have anybody here, but so these are pretty solid, but I just wanted to make that clarification that the numbers I give you may change slightly if anything comes up. So the first one I have is a homestead credit. Again, with the homestead credit and the veterans credit, we do get that money back. Meaner Baker has a estimated value of tax value of $1744.35. I put this all in here. Okay, just making sure. The requested taxable value would be $995.77. So the difference or the refund would be $748.58. Again, estimated would be the refund. His application is eligible for approval. I just got it after the deadline.
Could I ask right there?
Yeah.
What's required for the eligibility?
They
Income,
have
age.
it's age 65 and older or disabled, and then income wise, it would be. They just changed it, so I don't have it on. 70,000 and 40,000. So if they make under 40,000, they get up to $9,000 off their taxable value. Or if they make over that but under 70, it's
Percentage then?
yeah, it's all percentage wise. There's 2 tiers.
Either 65 years old
Yep,
or disabled.
and disabled.
And
Or disabled, yeah.
Or.
Yeah, or, not and.
And the rest is, depending on income.
Right, correct.
Okay.
That money does come back.
That money does come back, yep. But since I got this application after the fact, I have to have it approved by you guys. So. Do you wanna do like the homestead credits? How can we do, or do you wanna just do all the abatements, or how do we, I can't remember.
Go through all of them, right?
Okay. I haven't had an abatement in the last Okay, so Maynard Baker was one, Jean Pulver was another one. Hers would be estimated tax of $1767.08, and she qualified for it. It was just again after that deadline, so it would be that whole amount would be refunded back to us, or refund back to her. Disabled vet credit, Michael Hawkins, he's the one that, the Hensler turn. He was on the Hensler turn. He just got approved for veterans credit, so I'm only looking for 3 months of this tax year. So his estimated tax would be $1,059.82. And then difference would be $265. Oh, I'm sorry. Then $794.82 would be what we would be looking for, and then $265 would be the difference. And again, those 3 amounts that I gave you just a little bit ago, that would be coming back to us. So by the state. Okay, the next ones are farm exemptions. These are the ones that we will not get refunds from the state. Keith and Deanna Kessler, their current rate is estimated tax value is $635.06. With the farm exemption, I do put those acreage that were residential back into ag, so we would get some back, but it would be difference of $391.72, and I noticed I didn't put the right one in there. I didn't change that one, but it's a different amount. Let me see. Give me a second.
How can you put it back into egg?
Because technically, it's only for their homestead.
Right, so it's like 10 acres?
2.
2, okay.
Yeah, so it's just 2. I mean, it's not much.
I know it wasn't much, but I couldn't remember the number.
Yeah, yep. Yeah, 635. I don't have my calculator. The difference would be 390, or the 391.72. That second number is not right, and I don't have anything to do it. But that would be the refund with 392 or 391.72. And the next one would be Wade and Mary Stagley. Their current estimated tax would be $2,167.04. Again, with that 2 acres coming back, we would only be requesting $125.59 with a difference of $2,041.45. Now again, just keep in mind these have not been paid yet. So it's just basically, that's why I want to get these done right now. Yeah, it's just paperwork.
And the last one, there'd be no money coming out.
No money coming out. It's just because the assessments are done and it's just paperwork. If they would have gotten to me on time, I wouldn't be here.
Okay, could I hear a motion to approve the abatements for the listed amounts in personnel? Motion by Darrell. You did second that? Okay, second it. Okay. Any further discussion? Hearing none? All in favor? Aye. approved.
Perfect.
Anything else, Patty?
No. Surprisingly.
Thank you.
And I'm not talking politics. So.
Oh, good. We're not even.
I just.
No, I gotta sign.
So if you want to sign those. But I did want to say it was a pleasure working with you.
You too, thank you.
Thank you so much. I know we had our days.
Oh,
Yes, we did. No, I appreciate you guys putting your faith into me. So. Okay, now, don't sign everyone. Right there. That's all I need. And remember me every time you see that. Because, yeah, I'm using your pen today. I'll see you.
Those two sides.
Those two sign. That one. And Jane, I'll just have you sign your stuff. That's fine. That probably didn't time. I know where you work. There's that one.
You probably know where I sleep too, man.
Technically, yes, I do. Isn't that scary? I should have done that like they said last night. Looking out, it was silent and it was quiet.
Yeah.
With the fog, and it looked like Silent Hill, like a scene from Silent Hill. That would have been the perfect time to come out to your house and figure it out. That's it. You're good. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. Whoa, I'm taking it. Yep, these ones are good.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah. What can we do for you?
Yeah, I'm concerned about down in section 34 where that bridge is bladed up down there for the fire time. Minnecota's getting on me to get that leveled off, but the county's the one that bladed it, so I think it's their concern, leveled off.
They were leveled yesterday.
What, Tom Girl?
I thought they were leveled yesterday.
Yeah, leveling the ridge.
They did them yesterday.
Oh, they didn't?
Yes, we did.
When did you do it?
Yesterday.
Oh, I didn't know it. I ain't been
Yeah.
down there yet.
No, they were done yesterday. We're waiting until we had moisture to do it, because even yesterday when we hit a rock, you should have seen the sparks that come out from underneath them blades.
We did that.
So no, we did them yesterday morning when it was wet. So
Yep.
they're
I was
done.
down there, so I didn't see it.
Yep.
Okay,
It's
that
done
sounds
for
good.
Have you ever heard of so much efficiency as you just heard right now?
Right? At least you got on.
They take care of yesterday, yeah. Anything
Okay.
else?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Burn ban discussion.
I can call Alice and get her on speakerphone here. I know she wanted to talk about that.
Okay, before you do that, let's, or forget the Youth Works agreement.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is obviously what this is it's a grant agreement. So it places the onus on Youth Works to comply with everything. This is all the rules that apply are federal rules, state rules. It is a necessity. We need somebody to help with our juveniles. We don't have any sort of other options with it. It doesn't really place any burden on the county at all, except I'm assuming they want some money. But other than that, there's no burden. All of the counties that use Youth Works are going to have to sign off on it. I have some experience in dealing with Youth Works through my practice. You know, they do a fine job. But they're really the only option that we have for if we have juvenile offenders. For instance, if that were to happen here and we were to choose, the juvenile court were to choose to take on the case, and then my office would be responsible for prosecuting it, Youth Works would provide would provide services in the event that a juvenile were to be adjudicated. So I have no problem
Is that seven foot? I can't think of the other one that was.
That Center Inc. agreement or
Center
something.
Inc.
It's
They
not
provide similar services, but for different populations.
different.
Center Inc. is for adults.
Okay,
And
gotcha.
misdemeanor supervision. They do a number of other things. Juveniles is youth folks. And, you know, I didn't see anything within this agreement that would place any specific requirements on the county. So I'm good with it.
Sure, okay. Okay,
Does it have a price quote in there or anything, Jason?
I think that the only thing that I saw in here, it listed income. So if you take a look, yeah, right out of my pocket. Okay, if you take a look at the proposed budget, this is for the Bismarck shelter, and it's stating for income. I don't know what this means, quite frankly, but my guess is that for under Oliver County, it's $1,750. I don't
That
know.
sounds accurate based on what we paid last year.
So
we've had it already.
Yes, we've had an agreement with them
Yep.
already. This
Yeah.
is just basically a
It's a renewal.
renewal.
So I think that's the only out-of-pocket expenditures for the county. Again, I can't speak for before I got here, but I have had no juvenile prosecute. We had a referral to juvenile court. I can't recall what happened with it, but I know we didn't have any disposition on it. So, you know, we just don't have much in the way of juvenile issues. But if we did, Youth Works would be a very good, very good. It would be the only option that I would
It's
have
kind of
short
one of
of
those-
incarceration.
It was one of those things where if we didn't have it, it was gonna cost the county a lot more than if we do have it, is how they presented it to us, so.
But I think it would also create a situation where would these juveniles receive the services that they would need
Right.
absent it. Bigger cities, bigger counties maybe would have different options and deeper pocketbooks. So I think that this is really the only option before, and I would recommend that we do.
okay, could I hear a motion to approve the grant agreement for the North Dakota Department of Corrections in Oliver County?
I'll second.
A motion and a second, any further discussion on it? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Approved.
Got another question for you.
Yeah.
How do we get it changed back for districts for the commissioners? Do we have to wait 10 years or can we do it before that or what?
Can I do the research, please?
Yeah, that's fine with me.
Okay, would somebody send me an email
I will
reminding
send
me
you an email,
to do the, so the question that was posed to me is how do we go from at-large back to districts? Is that correct? Okay, sure. I've done the research on it, I just don't remember.
Oh, that's fine.
I'll take a look. Got it.
Burn ban discussion.
Okay, let me call Alice here.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So I don't know if you guys are ready for me yet or not.
Are we ready?
We're ready, go.
All right. Good morning, everybody. It was brought to my attention that even the fire chiefs thought we could probably rescind the total burn ban and then just do the burn ban according to fire index. So, like if there's red flag warning, high, extreme, there would be no burning. But if it's low or moderate, then we can allow like garbage burning and stuff like that. However, they did ask that the person that wants to burn like fields or anything, that they clean before they do that.
I think that would be fair.
Okay. Then of course if things change, we can always put the total burn ban back on.
Right.
So, and I think AJ did send that to you, correct?
Yes, I have it. They each have a copy in their folder if they want to review it. But
So it would just be basically going back to the fire index rating burn ban again that was in place before.
Well, okay, could I hear a motion to change back to the original fire ban restrictions?
I'll second
And a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Anything else, Alice?
I don't think so. Do you guys have anything for me?
I just had the HR discussion on there, and I know you had said that your commission would like to kind of think about it or discuss it a little bit more before we would make any sort of decision.
Yes. That is correct. And they do have a meeting again in 2 weeks, so then we'll get everything finalized by then.
Okay.
Okay?
Alice, this is Patrick. When you say the Mercer County Commission wants to talk about it, would that affect this county's ability to hire you? Are they talking about not wanting to share your services, or what does that mean?
They're just concerned that I wouldn't have enough time for Mercer County, but I already explained to them that I've already helped out with certain things in Oliver County, and that we're so close in all of our benefits and everything that to me it's still big. It won't take much time out of my time because I'm already doing it basically. And I used to manage over 150 employees plus the safety director position. So adding 26 more employees to my duties would be nothing for me, I guess. So
I don't know. And the reason that I ask is because, again, more concerns were brought to my office's attention between the last commission meeting and this one. I had sent out a letter to the commissioners. And my office is not the appropriate venue to seek relief from human resource issues. And frankly, I don't like being put in that position. So I just wanted to bring that up. I know I've said that before. I'm not going to say it again. It's not appropriate for me to be put in that position.
No. And at this time, if any of your employees want to just contact me, I'd be happy to help them because I know what positions you guys are in, and I'm here to help you. So that's what we do.
Thank you.
Okay.
Anything further for Alice or Alicia, as she was called in state level?
Alicia, yeah.
Okay, thanks, Alice.
All right, you guys have a great day.
Yeah,
Thanks,
you too.
Alice.
Thank you.
Bye.
Have we completed everything on our agenda? What? No way. Why would you want to get paid for your dumpster?
But you ain't paying for my dumpster.
No.
You're dumping down here. Once in a great while.
Well,
You can dump down there.
State law says that if you have access where you get a truck in there to haul out the garbage, you have to get your own dumpster. Or not dumpster, right there.
But I didn't go buy a dumpster, you went and rented a dumpster.
Anything. You gotta pay to get it hauled out.
Yeah, but you went and rented it, I didn't.
I didn't rent this one down here.
We did because of the community.
So pay for mine then. I'm not able to use that one, I gotta use mine. I pay for mine.
But did anybody tell you to go buy a dumpster at
Did
the
anybody
time?
tell you to go rent that?
Yeah, we agreed to rent it.
Who agreed to that?
Me and Lee.
Okay.
And you
The
agreed
commission
to
agreed.
when I first talked to you
I
about
thought it was a good idea maybe.
Yep.
At first. But you're using taxpayer money for things that shouldn't be used for. That's all I got to say on that matter.
Yeah.
I'll turn a bill on, thank you.
Not against you, but we can't do that.
You doing it for everybody else?
Okay, I'm in the dark here.
Anything else?
It feels like something I should be aware of. What are we talking about? Do I need to be aware of it?
No.
Okay. Okay. Never mind.
By the way, does that mean we can, right now, we can get rid of our
We can get
dumpsters
rid of
down
the
there,
roll-off. I
right?
can call
Can
them.
you
and they can
contact
come
them and
get
tell them that
Yes. Yep.
we're through with dumpsters?
Yes.
Have they been filling them down there?
Very much in there.
Not much, okay.
I'm gonna start piling up in the middle of the yard and give me a call.
Need that guy.
Well, you just gotta put an ad in the paper that we're taking it away.
Do you have anything else, Jaden?
Nope.
Anything else? Nothing else? Good. Meeting adjourned. I get used to it.
I don't know, I
That's
think,
under echo.
I think we should get you one.